If you are wondering which wide-angle lens you should buy for your Canon camera, considering your budget, this video will give you a clear picture of all about the top pick wide-angle lenses. The best Canon wide-angle lenses are perfect for landscapes, enabling you to fit sweeping vistas and sprawling skies into the frame. And they're every bit as useful for working indoors too, whether you're photographing interiors or you shoot events and weddings where you need to squeeze everything in without crushing yourself against the opposite wall. Bear in mind that if you're buying a wide-angle optic for an APS-C camera, it's vital to choose an APS-C lens. Well, you can certainly use full-frame EF lenses on EF-S DSLRs and EOS M mirrorless cameras. The 1.6x crop factor of the APS-C sensor means that the effective focal length would be increased. So, for example, a 17 to 40mm EF lens becomes a 27.2 to 64mm, so you won't get the full benefit. With that in mind, here are the best Canon wide-angle lenses for both APS-C and full-frame DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. Starting our list with Canon EF M22mm f2 STM. This pancake lens is a really portable option for a Canon EOS M body. Thanks to the 1.6x crop factor of APS-C format EOS M mirrorless camera bodies, the 22mm focal length of this lens equates to 35.2mm in full-frame terms. It gives the same 63-degree viewing angle as using a 35mm lens on a full-frame camera, which is perfect for documentary and street photography. It has a fast f2 maximum aperture, but its thin pancake design means it is still very small and light. Given the small size of Canon EOS M bodies, the overall camera and lens combination is particularly stealthy. The STM stepping motor autofocus system is quick and very quiet, and manual focusing benefits from an optional focus peaking display, featured in all current EOS M cameras. At number 2, it's Tamron 10 to 24mm f3.5 to 4.5 di2 VCHLD. It is a new and improved lens with winning features for Canon APS-C DSLRs. A major revamp of Tamron's original 10 to 24mm wide-angle zoom, Tamron 10 to 24mm f3.5 to 4.5 di2 VCHLD for Canon, has a new optical design with enhanced aspherical and LD, low dispersion, elements. It also gains a new HLD, high-low toke modulated drive, autofocus system and VC, vibration compensation, stabilization, which were absent in the original lens. Autofocus is faster, quieter, and more accurate, and offers improved handling. This is because the focus ring no longer rotates during autofocus, while there's also now full-time manual override. Build quality is very good, with a full set of weather seals and a Keep Clean fluorine coating on the front element. The lens is compatible with Tamron's optional tap-in console for applying firmware updates and fine-tuning via USB-connected computer. Sharpness is excellent across the entire image frame throughout the whole zoom range, which is always a challenge for ultra-wide zooms, and there's very little barrel distortion at the shortest focal length. All in all, it's a star performer. At number 3, it's Sigma 8 to 16mm f4.5 to 5.6 DCHSM. This is as wide as you can go for APS-C Canon DSLRs without going fisheye. The 1.6x crop factor of Canon's APS-C format DSLRs makes ultra-wide viewing angles rather a challenge. Compared with most competing zoom lenses, Sigma 8 to 16mm f4.5 to 5.6 DCHSM for Canon shaves 2mm off the shortest focal length of other lenses and gives a truly eye-popping boost to the maximum viewing angle. It's not a weather-sealed lens, but the build quality is very good. The ring-type ultrasonic system delivers fast and quiet autofocus, complete with the usual full-time mechanical override. 4 top-quality FLD, fluorite-grade low dispersion elements are featured in the optical path to enhance image quality, while super multi-layer coatings are on hand to guard against ghosting and flare, along with a built-in hood. This also protects the bulbous front element. There's no attachment thread for filters. Although at least a 2-part lens cap enables you to use 72mm filters at the long end of the zoom range without any vignetting. Despite the extreme viewing angle at the short end of the zoom range, sharpness remains impressive in the corners of the image frame. Color fringing and distortions are also well controlled, making this lens the ideal choice if you want to take your viewing angles to the max. At number 4, it's Tokina ATX I11 to 16mm f2.8 CF. A modest zoom range, but good performance for APS-C Canon DSLRs. Tokina's first ATX11 to 16mm was something of a trailblazer, bringing ultra-wide viewing to APS-C format Canon DSLRs, coupled with a fast and constant f2.8 aperture. It came with a solid construction, typical of Tokina's high standards of build quality. The Mark II edition of the Canon mount lens had minimal changes to the multi-coatings, but the latest ATX-I edition looks and feels rather different. The I stands for interactive mutual communication between photographer and lens. It certainly looks more modern, but retains Takena's usual one-touch focus clutch mechanism. This gives you the option of switching between autofocus and manual focus mode simply by clicking the focus ring forwards or backward. It works well on the whole, but you have to be careful not to nudge the focus ring accidentally. As with the previous editions, image quality is very good in all respects, although the overall zoom range is pretty modest. At number 5, it's Sigma 10-20mm f3.5 DCHSM. Surprisingly feature-rich lens for APS-C Canon DSLRs at a bargain price. Sigma 10-20mm f3.5 DCHSM for Canon has a constant aperture design, although it's a modest f3.5. Even so, it has the same advantage for manual exposure mode shooting in that the aperture remains fixed throughout the zoom range. Optical attractions include two ELD, extraordinary low dispersion elements, and an SLD, special low dispersion element. Considering the budget price, the inclusion of posh glass, along with a fast and whisper quiet ring type ultrasonic autofocus system, is a very pleasant surprise. An upside over Sigma's 8-16mm is that this lens has a detachable hood and a filter attachment thread. Sharpness is excellent throughout the zoom range in the central region of the frame, but drops off a little more than usual in the corners. Barrel distortion at the minimum focal length is fairly minimal, as is color fringing throughout the zoom range. This lens has been on the market for almost a decade now and predates Sigma's global vision lineup, but its unbeatable value at the price.